Hello everybody, it's Dio here from Firm for Gaming, bringing you another Bellwright video. Today we are going to be going over the outposts and deliveries. So they did an update to the game as we look out over top of the Empire here. They did an update in which they have changed how those work. So we're going to take a look at them and see what we need to do differently and how they have made our lives easier. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Here we are at my favorite outpost, my wood farm. If you have not yet checked out the video, please do. This place is amazing. So let's cover the basics of setting up an outpost. So when you first build a building, or even if it's in progress being built, it will show up in your building menu. Most likely it'll be assigned to whatever outpost is closest. So if it's your first base, it'll be assigned to your main base. And then all you need to do is find the building. So let's just say it was the apiary here. You would just go over here to switch settlement. Your list of outposts would be blank. You would type in, go to create new outpost, and then you would just type in whatever you want it to be called. So then we would have a new outpost called new outpost. So now, for example, if I go to new outpost, I can then switch it back, and there we go. So here we are at my wood farm. So if I go to my wood farm here, we have these buildings assigned to my outpost. And so what has happened to make our lives easier when it comes to setting up and maintaining an outpost is the deliveries. So currently we don't have any deliveries set up for the wood farm by design for this video. So in the past, what would happen is, because this is a logging facility, as you can see here, they would always need to have a simple axe. So in the past, when you would want to set up the deliveries, you would have to have it set up where it was a simple axe, for example, and then send it from your main place. And you would have to do daily, and you set it to one, and then it would send back. It would send your from your main place to here, or whatever you had set up, and then the axe would appear. And then you'd probably need to set up on the other end where, if you go to your wherever your main place was, then I would have this set up for a broken simple axe, and then you would say want it to be sent from your outpost back to your main place, and then it would send it back. But what you could end up happening is, with because this was a daily delivery, you could end up with like multiple of these wooden axes the in your outpost. So what they've done now, which has made our lives way easier, is now we can do a top up. So now they will only send to this facility if the axe is broken. So as soon as the simple axe breaks and becomes a broken simple axe, the next time it does deliveries, which is of course at midnight every night, it would send a simple axe to this outpost. Additionally, what you want to do to make sure that it is self-sustainable, because the outpost, the members need to be fed in order for it to send and receive supplies, you'll probably want to add in food. So I have a foraging station here, so that's why I don't need to send it food. But if we didn't have one set up, you could do a distribution of onions and send them like 3 or 4 a day, something like that. And that should be enough to sustain them. It might run out in winter, so in winter you might want to do increase it up to 5, and then you would do that to make sure it's fed. Another thing to note about outposts and deliveries is the items need to be in the stockpile. If they're in the actual production slash gathering facility, like the local storage here, it will not be delivered when the delivery comes time to deliver. It needs to be in the stockpile, which also means it's important to set up your person to with delivery as a high priority, so that they move items out of the production or the logging camp in this particular instance and move it into the stockpile. The next thing to note is that, oh, I got raided, whatever, who cares? The next thing to note is that when it comes to deliveries, you can only deliver 20 units per villager. So what I mean by unit is, in your inventory, like this would be 1 unit, 2 units, 3, 4, 5, 6. So up to 20 units per villager. So that means if you are delivering logs, for example, logs take up 9 spaces. So that is 9 of the 20 units that could be delivered per villager. So in this particular case, I only have one villager here at my wood farm, so I would only have a maximum of 20 slots that are able to be delivered. But then in comparison, when I go to my main city, I have, if we go to housing here, what do we got? We got 13, 16, 19, 22. So we have a ton of people in this place, which means we can have a ton of deliveries. And as you can see here, like I got 20s, 10s, 50s, all that sort of thing. And then down here, like I had 398 hide delivered and another 224. So it used up a lot of the slots, but you can have that capability. And then of course, when it comes to deliveries, the more important ones are the ones that you want have done. So this was a one time, so I can just probably get rid of that. But for instance, here, if we want the wood to make sure it's delivered, we can move that up to the top, and then that will use up the first whole bunch of deliveries slots that were available to that particular outpost. So that is how the new Outpost and delivery system is going to be working since the patch. They have made our life so much easier. With the top-up ability, you can just set it up. Always make sure they have one. You won't run into the issue of having 10 simple axes or multiple pickaxes at a location anymore. This is a great quality of life improvement, and it also means that we're not going to be wasting those precious resources. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know below. Be happy to answer those. And as always, we appreciate all likes, shares, and subscribes. So please click those buttons. And until next time, I hope you're enjoying Bellwright, and we will see you in the next video.